So they say that the periodic table of elements is the most powerful and important discovery in the history of chemistry, and chemistry is the central science. They say chemistry is the central science because all other fields of chemistry, or all other fields of science rather, branch off chemistry. Chemistry is the study of matter, of all the things that we can touch, taste, hear, smell, and see. And the periodic table system is an organization of the elements that provides a ton of useful information about the elements at a glance. It's a cheat sheet to learning chemistry and quantum mechanics. And everybody kind of gets an image, well, most everybody kind of gets an image of what the periodic table looks like when they hear the words the periodic table. And also, most people don't know how to use or read it. And there's a reason behind that. Because that periodic table system that you might remember from high school chemistry class is actually broken and it's inaccurate. It's not the true reflection of the elements that build our universe. And they will admit this in the small print, in a footnote, and tell you that 30 elements are placed out of order in their incorrect positions to save paper space, because the true reflection of the elements is too wide to easily fit on a standard sized piece of paper. So, to recap, the periodic table of elements is the most powerful and influential discovery in the history of chemistry. This is undisputed. The periodic table of elements is used by chemists all over the world. It's in every chemistry textbook. And again, most important and powerful tool in chemistry. It gets its predictive power based on the order and the location of the elements. Okay, so the most powerful tool in chemistry gets its predictive power based on the order, the arrangement, and the location of the elements. So depending on where an element is located within the system, it can tell you how that element is going to react, how it's going to behave, and certain properties about that element. And so the order is the most important underlying principle of the periodic table. Yet 30 elements called rare earth elements, the lanthanides and the actinides, which are the permanent magnets in our phones and computers and all these technologies that require super powerful tiny magnets, are in this group of elements that are placed out of order and excluded from the numbering system, making it much harder to learn, much harder to follow. And that's a huge reason why this information is not as widespread as it should be. Why most people don't understand it, they can't read it, they can't use it, and why the few people in power who can are so much more wealthy in positions of power. You look at Bill Gates. In his office, he has a giant periodic table of elements. Elon Musk works with the periodic table every day, all the time. Anytime he's creating a new technology that requires any materials, he's going to be using the periodic table to determine which materials work best for his purpose. So, this is important information, and it needs to be examined. The average everyday person needs to examine this information, needs to take it seriously, needs to start learning it. Otherwise, we are going to be at the mercy of those people who do. And we already kind of are, but we need to play catch up. Things are going sideways, and we're being forced into making decisions that people are not educated to make. So we need to, instead of blindly having faith and relying on these people who are in power to have our best interest at heart, we need to actually learn the information for ourselves. And I've discovered a way to do that, guys. I've developed a system that makes the periodic table system very easy to learn, easy to follow, and you can learn in a matter of days or weeks what takes years using the standard method. Because it's based on simple quantity and counting, just logic and order. And they've made it more difficult than it needs to be by placing elements out of order, excluding them from the numbering system, and then inaccurately numbering the rest of the elements. So, if you guys get a chance and find this interesting, Google the Genesis periodic table or Genesis system of atoms, and the Genesis periodic table system that I've developed will come up, and study that system, and you will learn chemistry quicker than any other method available. I hope you guys take this seriously. Hope you take it to heart. I love you guys. God bless.